I was pleasantly happy because I left several minutes later than I planned to because I was washing bottles right before I left. But then I still got here at 58, so I was like,
yeah, I know. I left like a minute or so beforehand, and then it just seemed like there was one like slow person that was on the back roads, and I was like, I had this car has Apple Play, and so I was like watching like the map, and I'm like 90 or 9 o'clock, 9:01. 9 o'clock, 9:01. I was like, I'm just gonna tell her 9:01.
yeah.
So I sent you on like this one yesterday. So it's one.
Oh yes,
your
it's
version.
Yes.
1 year newer.
Okay. Okay. Yes, you did send me that one. Okay.
So the only thing was, I guess when I'm there, if we go and look at it, I just need to ask them further clarification on what it means to be Hyundai certified used. Because when I looked at the one that's in McKinney, it had, I think, like maybe 4 or 5 things. One of which, or 2 of which, were like roadside assistance, like rental car, like allowance, things like that. So it had the same 60 months, 60,000 miles for a limited warranty.
It just means that, like, I guess they've undergone strict, like, inspection and
All
guidelines.
up, hello. Okay. You want 123? 88?
No, 123.
Okay.
So 60 months, 60,000 miles warranty.
Yeah, that's pretty standard one.
But then on top of that, you have the 10-year
Hold up.
mileage roadside assistance. Okay, here's the other one. 10-year, 100,000 mile battery warranty.
So the standard 60 months, 6 years, whatever, is usually it's for like the majority of the pieces, and then there are some things that they will insure longer, like the battery. Sometimes I think the wheels sometimes have a different warranty, but it's like all the main major components fall under the general one, and then if they specifically itemizes out things, then those have their own.
Gotcha. So this one's only in 20. Once again, I was talking to Hayden, I was like, it's 1 year new. It's roughly
$1,000 more, yeah.
But it is, I think it's 19,000 miles, I think, down here. The odometer, so it must have been driven since, probably for like test drives and stuff. So I don't even know if it's available yet, but it's 19,000 miles. So it's also about 10,000 miles less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love Lucas funny sometimes because I remember, because basically, like, to summarize everything, I got my car and I ended up getting a new one instead of a used one because at the time I got the car, it was when they were having that like chip shortage, and it actually cost less to get a new one than it did for a used one for some reason. So that was why we did that for me. And so originally when I was like suggesting it, she was like, why are you sending her like new things? Like she probably wants like a used one. The only reason like we got a new one for you is because of chip shortage. And I was like, okay, like I just want to give her options, dude, like whatever. Well, then he sent you the like 2024 one, and I sent you a couple like 2022. I think he may have seen the 2023. And so then we're talking last night, and so obviously I was acting like an intermediary between the two of you. So, you know, you were asking about the differences between the 2022. And I like was asking, he's like, well, I think this, but didn't I send her 2024? It was like, yeah, but it's like a couple thousand years old. Yeah, but like, why wouldn't she want the newest one? I was like, well, maybe because she doesn't want to spend the extra $2,000 just to get something that's essentially the same thing. And so then he was like, okay. So then, you know, then you were like, actually, you know, I also saw this 2023 one. And again, he goes, well, why doesn't she just want the one that's 1 year old? It's like, maybe because she doesn't want it. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So today, this morning shoot. So yesterday morning, so like on a regular week, Saturday is the only day where he gets Ayla in the morning, and I get to sleep. Obviously, he's got a week and a half off. So I was like, I don't think it's unreasonable for me to think you're gonna sleep up a little more.
Yeah.
Like way more. He goes, yeah, you know. So obviously his first morning off was Thursday from not having to work. He was like, you know, my first day Thursday, like I still wanna, I still wanna like, you know, sleep in, but like Friday I got you, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll take it. Friday and Saturday back to back, that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Well, then yesterday, naturally, I had a pump at 8:10, so I got to sleep to about basically the same amount of time she lets me sleep on a regular day. So I didn't get to sleep in. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? Like, I would get to sleep in. And I even did like the math, and I figured out what time like my pump was gonna be. It was gonna be at 10 something. I was like, that's awesome. I could sleep in. And then you were like, we still go in and get our nails. And I was like, yes, we are. And then you were like, well, no, because I mean, it would do that, or I'd have to go after lunch. And to be quite frank, I'd rather get it done in the morning. I just thought it was ironic that. And then in the end, even with that, I still was up at 6:30 for my pump, decided to stay awake, and then I got up with Ayla. So, yeah. So he was in bed until I was. So I guess, in all honesty, I was up with her a couple minutes to 8. I, you know, tapped. I was like, hey, I'm awake anyway. Like, don't worry about it. Go back to sleep. Like, I got it. I got up with her. You know, I gave her breakfast. Like, I didn't know the demo stuff. And then about 35, I was like, okay, I need to start, you know, getting dressed. So I set her in the square, put on the simple songs for the TV. I walked in. I was just like super quiet. I was like creeping around. So he woke up. So he like looked over at me. I was like, you know, hey, like I'm getting dressed. We still have a few more minutes. He was like, okay. That's good. I was like, okay, but as much as you know, I'm literally gonna get you like as we're heading out the door. So like if I get you, you have to get up. He's like, okay, that's fine. So I get dressed, I go back out, I clean bottles. As I'm finishing the bottles, I had said if I had time I would change the diaper. Well, I didn't. I told you I was already running like 2 or 3 minutes. So I basically finished the bottles, run into the room, and I'm like, hey, you know, head out the door. Well, I mean, somebody will keep it thing. And my hand goes, whoa, okay, I'm coming. I'm like, whoa, all you had to do was go, okay, I'm up. So he, you know, so he walked out as I was leaving. And I was like, okay, bye. Bye.
Usually having that rental, that means that Brandon can't go in the car. Because it's like
Yeah.
other things I don't want to have to do it. They'll do like a regular cleaning, but not to that level. So he's like, so I mean, I have to drive Brandon over in my car. My parents was like, so I think afterwards we'll go play this. He'll meet me over there. And so we'll just drive.
Hello.
How
have you?
Like Brandy in his car with the sheds and
We don't have anything until maybe 3 or 4. We have a lot of appointment this morning. I have a lot of appointment this morning. Yeah. You should come yesterday. Waiting for you at 5 yesterday. I don't know. They waiting for you at 5 yesterday. Yes, ma'am. You want to wait? Come at 5.
At 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I have to wait or no? Do I just come down?
I'm not sure. We wait for you yesterday already. So you make sure you come on time.
Okay, thank you.
She made an appointment. She don't want to wait, and we wait for her, and she don't show up.
that's annoying.
But
I'm really glad we came here when you opened then if you have a lot of appointments today.
every time like she made an appointment, if she wait 5 minutes, she gonna get mad on us and say,
I feel like I've been here before when she's done that.
yeah, but So I know she get mad. Yesterday I'm waiting for her. She don't show up. She don't call to cancel or anything.
Gosh.
Some customer, you know, I just can't. I just can't do anything.
So it's just so his car is smaller and he has completely leather seats, so she just slides around. So that's why.
Happens when you have a dog that's like sleek like Scooby Doo. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
So yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's
she probably hates it as well.
sees your broken son of a bitch. You bring my helmet.
And then on top of that, because Haven's car is older but reliable, not everything works, you know.
Hang
how
on.
it should.
I feel like I've heard stories. I don't from the based on stories. I'm gonna call his car reliable.
She's still kicking.
That's not reliable. That's alive.
True. So like things like his lights dim when he runs the AC or heat. So like when he gets it inspected, he doesn't run the AC or heat because his lights will be like really dim. And so he's driving in the morning, so he has to make a decision. Does he want to have dim lights and not be able to drive properly? Or be warm? So after that, he has to say, well, I need to be able to see, so Granny also is having to drive around in a freezing cold car. So,
Yeah. That's funny.
yeah. So which hot pot are you going to? The one that we went to.
No, not the one all those years ago. The one with JR where he was by himself and it was a bunch of women from work. Or not that one. He recalled that story yesterday because once we were going to Hot Pot and he goes, oh, so kind of like the place where it was just me and a bunch of ladies. No. It's actually like 5 minutes away from Chris and Leslie's house. It's called like Leon Shoes. Yeah. We figure we'd go with Dustin and Tyler and they can advise us.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we've realized, you know, unless you're talking about like Chinese American food, like panda or something like that, like to get like real, all of them is pricey. All that is like Korean barbecue, it's expensive. Hot pot, we're like looking at it, and I was like, I've always wanted, you know, to try because it just looks like, and you know, I love Asian food, but we look at the menu, we're like, go. And so it looks like, you know, it's fine. You said you've always wanted to try it. You know, we got money for Christmas. And besides, you know what? This is our one opportunity to be able to go with people who are going to know exactly what to order, what to do. We'll have the best experience, and then we probably won't go again anytime in the near future.
Lord, huh?
So I think I've
What time?
or I may have been to a Korean barbecue.
No, they
The
see.
one went
I don't
to
think they
a
have
while
anything.
ago. So this was one of those like Brandon after season to like thank us. He does like those dinners or whatever. So he did one at a place, but it isn't in liquid, so it had that.
I was about to say, if you can tell, liquid or no liquid. Yeah.
So it was just like the really hot.
Yeah, like grilled. Yeah. Yep. That was probably Korean barbecue. But yeah, we went to Ari's that's right by the Kura Revolving Sushi with the Dustin Tyler from months ago. Again, expensive AF, but absolutely delicious. It was
And is
amazing.
it all? It's an all you can eat type of thing, right?
Hot pot, yes. Korean barbecue, no.
Okay.
Because yeah, we would have eaten so much more if it was all you can eat. But yeah, according to Dustin, it's all you can eat in the hot pot. So at least there's that. So yeah. Oh, yeah, so obviously I was telling you yesterday, like it was insane the size of the plates they brought out at the sushi place. It was like this long and this wide.
Gosh. I like You're gonna put your faces up on the wall and say,
Yeah. I told you, between all 30 rounds, we had 31 rolls.
yeah, that's crazy.
And each one had at least 6 pieces. No. Inside my ears itchy. Okay, it's all good. It'll go away eventually. Anyway, so yeah. So Mom and Dad are watching Ayla while we go because we said, yesterday she came with us to sushi and it was fine. Like, she was the entire hour and 45 minutes we were there, she was calm for an hour and 15 of it, and then there was a few minutes where she was just completely losing her mind, and then Luke finally for the last 20 plus minutes just put the simple song on his phone so she could see it, and she just sat contentedly watching it. But she was obviously reaching under the table, she was grabbing the menu card, she was doing all stuff. We're like, okay, sushi's one, worst scenario, she managed to somehow grab a piece of sushi, it's cold, it's gonna be fine. She tries to reach over during the hot pot, she could burn herself. So we were like, hey, we cannot bring her along to hot pot. So we're talking to Mom and Dad, and I was like, are you guys busy on Saturday? And Mom's like, well, Dad and I are finally gonna go through and start organizing all the rooms, because if we don't, then we're gonna be exactly in the same spot at the start of the New Year's we were when we decided to hold off for a couple of months. I was like, okay. She was like, why? I was like, well, usually you watch her for a date anyway. We're just thinking about doing lunch instead of dinner. She was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll watch Ayla. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because we don't have a backup plan. Bill and Joni are gone.
Yeah.
Well, they left. They left as of 10 o'clock today. So
Okay.
yeah. I
And then-
still don't know how I managed to get through not having Christmas with them without so much as a peep.
Yeah. Probably said something to Luke. You think you would have said something if you did?
I would hope so.
Yeah. But I mean, it probably was actually nothing. They probably, if it were us, we would probably just, or if Mom had a problem, she'd probably just tell us.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Only because which I was fine with because I volunteered to do it. But we made a point of saying that, when we told them he wanted me to do it, A, because I'm a better speaker, and 2, because she's annoying, but she's not my mom. So if she wants to get angry and, throw her at somebody, have it be me instead of her own son. But Luke was, very much okay, I will help you brainstorm, but I want you to say it. So I don't think he would do that and then go behind my back and talk to her.
Yeah.
Especially because he knew how nervous I was going into it. So if he just let me go through that for nothing, then he's like...
Is it all of the rest of the sisters go as well?
Okay, so
how does that work?
okay, I was about to say, so Morgan goes every single year because they
Both
always
families are up there, right?
because both families are up there, but they always are with Morgan. I'll say Morgan's side for Christmas because Brandon has a bunch of siblings, but none of them are usually in the same place. The mom lives in gross government assisted housing. It is not a place for Christmas. So they usually go up there a couple days before everybody else, spend several days there, stay through Christmas, and then a day or two after Christmas go over and spend a week with Brandon's family. Really, Brandon's mom. So they're there every year. Ashley and Patrick flip-flop every other year. And they fairly consistently keep to it. And then...
So they were willing to travel with Darcy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's... Yeah, it was interesting to me. Although, to be honest, of both of the sisters, that was at least the slightly more reasonable one. Because you know what? She's almost 10 months at this point. Yeah. So, little, but not crazy. Not like Morgan, who brought Mason the Christmas after he was born. And he's born on November 28th. So he was less than a month old.
Gosh.
That being said, she looks back on it and says, oh, if I had known how difficult it was going to be, I wouldn't have done that. Maybe with 2 brain cells wouldn't have done that in the first place. Yeah. But okay. But yes, so at least Darcy's 10 months old. But yes, they decided to go.
And Have you found that in Ayla's life it was easier for her to be in the car longer when she was little? Because she slept more, or that when she was bigger, that she was more likely to like sleep in the
It was
car seat?
between the two of them, it was better when she was little because she would get in the car seat and she would almost without a doubt fall asleep, and then we could foreseeably drive as much as we wanted to. Now she likes being in the car, but if she gets finicky, the only way to make it better is to turn on like the music on one of our phones, and then she's fine. So it's not like one is god awful, but it's between being like, okay, we don't have to do anything, she's just gonna sleep, and we may or may not have to apply minimal entertainment to keep her from yelling. But yeah, so this was the year they were both gonna go. So obviously, by us not going this year and then foreseeably going next year, because I promise we'll go next year. Which, you know what, is fine. If it means not having to deal with it for another year, like, I'll go once. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, at least that one, I shouldn't have any issues. Because, obviously, it's not...
2025, so you're wanting to realistically think that when you have another one. I'm just thinking about if you
Okay, so here's the thing with that. So I always thought that you and I had a good age gap between us. Like 2 to 3 years is good enough. Mm-hmm. So after kind of thinking about it and deciding it, I was like, yeah, like I would totally be fine with that. But that would mean that yet again we would not be able to go there. Plus,
You want to show a bit shorter?
yes, kind of as short as you can go.
Shorter I can go.
Yeah. And then separately, kind of a cool thing, so I'm okay with it. So let me make sure I get the numbers right. Papa Pete was born in 1936. His daughter, Miss Joni, was born in 1966. Her son, Luke, was born in 1996. So the next one would be 2026.
Gotcha.
So,
It'll be the tail end of the year. Sort of trying.
yeah, I was about to say, so it would be aiming to have, because it doesn't matter when in 2026 to meet the criteria, because Papa Pete's birthday is a couple days after Christmas, Joni's is June, and Luke's is July. So, like, it's all over. So that the time of year doesn't matter, just the year. So I was like, okay, you know what, if we have a baby, like the middle of 2026, one, it would be near Luke's birthday, and he could have a birthday buddy, just like I have Ayla, and in November he could have one.
Yeah.
And then also it would make him 2.5 years apart, which is not bad. Plus, it would, yeah, like I said, it would allow me, I would be hopefully a few months pregnant, but not so much so that I'm, you know, unbearable, exactly, that I'm not unbearable, so I can go there. Then the following one, arguably whatever child would come about of that would be, 6 to 9 months, and it wouldn't be our year to go anyway. And then if the, yeah, they'd be slightly older, and at that point I shouldn't still be pumping, which is the reason why we can't go this year, because there's just too many things to think about and have to consider, and when it comes to that.
So ideally you would have 2.
Yeah, I told this to Dylan. I had always said that 2, maybe 3, and then after having Ava, even though she's wonderful and I wouldn't change a thing about her, it's a lot of work. And specifically the fact that, like, I have to pump instead of just being able to source it directly. Mm-hmm. She's worth it, and I would lose sleep every night if it meant doing what's best for her, but I was like, okay, I'll do it once, I can do it twice. I don't know if I want to do it 3 times through, because it essentially, like I was thinking about it, essentially means knowingly giving up like a 1.5 years worth of sleep to be able to do it properly, which is just tiring. Tiring. So,
So I
yeah.
feel like most people when they try like trims one
Ở
I'm done.
cái chỗ xào tôm thúng á,
It's always
chỗ
really
xào tôm
crazy
thúng đó.
to me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, okay. I'll do even better. I've heard people do that, and that's where, like, the literature is all like, if you can make it to a year, then, like, you're successful. So I feel like that's what happens, is if people are less like, oh, it's a year, that's good enough. It's like, they're like, I made it to the year, like, this is the end of a long marathon, like, I'm tapping out, and nobody can judge me. I don't know who the pediatrician for my sister-in-law is, but whoever it is a bit of a wackadoo, because they come back with some really random stuff, like, you know, and Luke mentioned that, you know, I was going to continue doing this until like February or March, which, you know, with the stock I have, will get her to almost a year and a half,
Hello.
which is good in my
I love you.
eyes, and she should be.
In the office. Okay. Have a seat, wait, please.
And so basically, I was like, okay, that should be good, because my goal is literally to try to do it to where she doesn't need it anymore. She eats just fine, and I'm mostly just giving her like a comfort food, just something where she recognizes it, she knows it, and so about a year and a half would probably be about good. Well, Ashley was like, oh wow, you know, that's so crazy. Like, I made it to like the 6-month mark, like we were supposed to, and then I was just done. I'm like, 6 months is not long enough. So
Like formula stuff is expensive from what I've seen. I mean,
oh yeah,
instantly
they have it locked up in Allen too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it is the I think it was like a month and a half that we had to have formula, just because it took a little bit for things to like come in, which I'm hoping doesn't happen the second time, because all the neural pathways will be there. And it was so expensive, especially because when we were there, because she was potentially had the diabetes from me. They gave her from the outset like the sensitive stomach like formula. So we had like the special formula too. And so we were like, well, we're not gonna bring her home and then be like, no, you get the regular stuff. So we had to keep getting it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, that was nuts. But yeah, so no, her pediatrician told them that they only needed to make it 6 months, and then after that, like they maxed out like the benefits of the milk, and that formula was fine. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, as long as I can keep doing it, I don't see how, and there's any way that she's not still getting some benefit. Like, yes, by the time she's a year plus old, like, she doesn't need it for an immune system to keep her from getting, you know, the plague.
Yeah.
But, you know, still gotta be doing something. But, yeah, so.
Your sister-in-law should have taken your advice, maybe. Because
That, okay, they're like, what is your hope for why I keep doing this? Like, okay, we were supposed to potentially go over and see them, because I usually try to go once a week to visit both sets of grandparents. And so I had talked on Tuesday to Joni.
Well, we talked earlier. Hagen was like, she's not working anymore, but she still has to. She has appointments with people that she has to do. Because I told her, I was like, oh yeah, I know Caroline was over at my parents, like seeing them. I was like, oh, that's not right. What does the rest of their day look like? Like, well, she now has to turn around and go to Bill and Johnny's. He said, why? Fair's fair.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so I talked on Tuesday, because last week I didn't end up going to see them at all, because frankly it was lazy the first half of the week. There's no other way around it. I didn't get any housework done the first few days, and then by the time we got around to Friday, which is usually the day that I do, either that or Thursday, I realized, you know what, like I need to do stuff, like, so I just didn't end up doing it. I spent the entire day like cleaning, and so on Tuesday I was like, okay, you know, thank you for being so understanding about not seeing me last week. What day was it? She goes, well, we're like, I don't have the kids at all on Friday, but I have like lunch with Miss Jody. And I was like, okay, well, you know, Luke and I have lunch plans anyway, so that's fine. And she was like, and then Thursday I'm going to like a doctor's appointment, like middle of the day. So I'm like taking the kids, I'm dropping them off at their home. So like don't come first half of the day on Thursday. I was like, okay, cool. So we talked about it and we were like, okay, so it sounds like Wednesday is the best day. So I had planned to go over there. I was able to get a text. Oh no, sorry, we decided Thursday afternoon. That's what we ended up deciding. Thursday afternoon. So Thursday morning, like we're sitting around, all of a sudden we get a text from Joni. Don't come over. Darcy has a fever and a cough. I'm like, okay. Keep your luggage out of the way. So then she texts later in the day, yeah, I took Darcy to the pediatrician. She has another ear infection. And to me, I sent back a message, I'm like, oh, poor baby. You know, this is what, her second one? She goes, no, this is at least her fourth. It's like,
You have to put tube in her ear? It's like, is it a lack of proper drainage, or is it just...
no, I just think
keeps bringing it, or
she just keeps
something
getting
bringing
sick.
back stuff?
She just keeps getting sick. So, yeah. Anyway, so everything according to plan. That would be what the next few years would look like. Obviously, it makes for an interesting turnaround though, because Dylan had. I don't think you were there. I think it was during one of our like survivor sessions. I don't know what I did, but something I did, or maybe the proximity to Ayla's birth or something like that. Dylan made the comment like, maybe she could be already pregnant with child number 2. And I was like, no. Not physically possible. And I was like, you can say don't bring it back yet. And so by the time I finished pumping, which foreseeably is the roadblock for that, it would be a couple months, and then it would need to be back. So I was like, I was gonna give
or something. I thought after you
Oh,
gave
I'm
birth that it came back.
Oh, I'm a weirdo. Like it doesn't normally take this long. So I'm figuring it out day by day.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. So that's what I thought too. And then I read that,
Like, I heard it'd take like a couple months.
oh yeah, no, that's fully what I expected. And then when it didn't, I like looked at it and it was like, well, if you're nursing, or in my case, you're probably like you're nursing a baby. Sometimes it takes 6 months. And I was like, oh, that's fine. My baby is 13 months old. No problem.
Yeah.
So I told her, mom was like, seriously? I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And for real. She goes, I guess it's because your body's so famous like 15. I was like, I guess. So,
That's why I'm 6 months in, and I think people give up after 6 months.
well, yeah, usually 6 months. I think usually 6 months, it's petered off to where you're only doing it like a few times a day, but for me, to make sure there's enough for her. I still do it like I have a newborn. Yeah, so anyway, I've just been like, straight chilling. What's really funny is when I have to go to like my regular like annual doctor visits, and that's one of the questions. Yeah, they asked me that question, and my last one, which was like a month ago, they asked it, and I was like, that was March 2nd of 2023, and there was like the moment where she was typing, and then she like paused and looked over at me, and I was like, and she like. I have a 13. At that point, it was I have an 11-month-old, and she was like, okay. And it hasn't. I was like, nothing. She was like, well, that must be nice. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the weirdest part is like I don't honestly remember exactly what it was.
It's hilarious.
This is what I'm like. I remember the different concept. But yeah, I think that'll be what's funniest is that eventually like at this point I'm almost like what do you need to go? I have to be like, okay, you need to reset and go.
Yeah. I think Hagen and I were similar to you before ever having kids once, but I think you and I had the same hopes. I wanted twins first, and then a single.
Yeah.
Do you think we could have done it with twins? First.
with the way things panned out, no, because I worked for 5 months after having, and I could not have done that with twins because unless they magically were like in sync and managed to nap exactly the same time, like I would have gotten nothing done. So no, I don't think I could have. But
Looks like Jesse. Not this one. Oh, maybe it's another book.
not in my opinion, but that's okay. It's the world go round. I just want to make sure you sure you're taking a different something?
Thế anh đợi làm đợi con thế. Ai biết. Tôi nói ra sớm 9 giờ làm con chịu đó.
Okay. I may see what you're picking up, but
Phết quen chưa biết. Cơ lâu. Một. Hả?
It says if you need it.
Nơi sao kìa. Làm đi. Thảo. Tạm mới tạm.
okay. Again, I don't think so because I think it was after the party when we went back. So when you were on your way to get brandy, and then during Crash Mageddon, I was telling mom and dad. Dylan had said something to me probably like 2 months ago at this point. It was like once he said it, it's like all of a sudden I noticed it like everywhere, and I was like, this is crazy. He had said, one of the things about this bullet diet that they're doing is because there's so much artificial stuff and fake and false and ingredients that don't occur in nature that it's having an effect on the Chinese population. And I had said to mom, it's crazy. Like, he was saying, and all of a sudden I noticed, like,
Cách bóng bao nhiêu sữa.
very rare to think of Sweden's mom and dad that I know of that had one, besides Aunt Jody, but who has, like, or something.
Bao nhiêu sữa
But
khách
I
của mình
know,
nữa.
like, 2 or 3 people right off the bat that had either
Nổi tiếng,
posted
ai nổi
on
tiếng lên
Facebook
trang.
about, finally getting their, baby after, time and or loss, whatever. And it's just kind of crazy. I said, and then I look at immediate family that more people have never been able to have a child on their own. They've always they just at that point they knew the drill, so they just knew exactly when to schedule it, when to plan it, stuff like that. No, every single one of their children had to be done via cesarean. Ashley and Patrick with Sophie tried for a year to a year and a half, and then with Darcy it only took like a month or 2, and then they managed to have, and then it took Nick and I a year, and I was just like, it's kind of crazy. And so I was talking to Jessie at the back of the room about something else. We were talking about how, I know what it was. Remember, Leslie said she had that app on her phone that told her,
Con hay hề lo đó mà
an announcement at 32 weeks, it was like, could be any day.
lo đó.
And
Con ở đây không phải.
Jessie was like, no, we do not want it to be any other day. Like 32 weeks is like bare minimum to like have that. And so we started talking about, the different thresholds. Because I remember her saying this at my shower, that, 32 is, it's, the chances are basically close to 100 the babies will
Hello.
grow, but it will be a
Have you?
babies grow up. Then 35 weeks was, okay, NICU doesn't have to be on the scene right away, but you're probably still going to have to send them there for a little bit. And then 37 was the point at which she was like, you can keep baby in your room, you don't have to worry about NICU or anything like that. Well, obviously Ayla was born 37 weeks and 2 days, so she just made that cut. And so I was talking, and so Jessie was like, yeah, Charlie was induced 39 weeks and like 6 days on her,
Yes, please.
like on her.
The length is good.
She said, Charlie, they had decided they were going to induce me at 39 weeks and 6 days, and so they induced me. 7 hours later, Charlie, came into the world, and I was like, yeah, and she said something about, yeah, and they, she was a decent sized baby, and I was like, yeah, they kept thinking that Ayla was, going to be huge, and then she wasn't. And she was like, yeah, well, sometimes, you have to give like an approximation of like, when your last cycle was, so they could figure it out. I was like, actually, I knew exactly what it was because, it took that long. And at that point, I was tracking everything. And she was like, oh, yeah, Julie, that's funny. Same with me. I was on, I couldn't have Charlie without the fertility drug. So I knew exactly when it was too. And I was like, and so I just let it go. I was like, I'm not gonna question it. This is her business. But then I came home, it's like, this is crazy. So she's yet another example. And then separately, Mom was like, wait a second. She goes, why? Because if you think about the timeline, Charlie was born a couple months before their second anniversary. So Mom was like, what, try for 5 months? And then what? No, we need intervention. It's like, no, she just had to take medication to help her. Which I said it could be one of two things. It could have been because I remember during when Luke and I were looking into because his insurance had a section for infertility related things, so we knew. Okay, so what
Is it called Carrot?
Carrot?
Carrot.
No.
That's what it was called. It's like a third-party company called Carrot.
Okay,
That
Luke was a different one, but yeah. So as a result of that, I became keenly aware of all the different stages. So at least from what I gathered from the limited conversation we had about it, it was like stage 1. It was nothing is happening, nothing seems to be physically wrong. So what we're going to do is we're going to put you on medication to help turn your natural body processes up to a 10. Make sure things, it's not just it's happening.
Yeah.
So I said it could have been that, or technically it could have been something else, which is she has already some sort of PCOS, endometriosis type thing. Because my friend Francis, again, had another group, the person to the group. Francis was messaging me about something. I mentioned something about Ayla, and she had sent me a message kind of off to the side, and she was like, hey, I just been struggling with something, I wanted to fill you in. Apparently.
Okay, let's wait for 2 minutes.
Yes.
Okay?
So Stephen, I guess to preface by saying Stephen is almost 31, so he's a couple years older than we are, but not ghosting. But apparently, about a year after they got married, they were like, we should try a family. Apparently, since they've been trying it, she has never made it past a couple months. So she's lost.
She's gotten pregnant, but
Yeah, she's lost at least a couple.
yeah, which is what one of the people on Instagram has had 7.
So, oh, that's terrible. So she had said, so she'd said, so she was having the normal amount, took several months each time to get to the point. And then, she'd reach before she could even make it to the 8-week one, to the simple heartbeat, she'd lose it. And so she was telling me, so after originally telling me that, and then coming a week or so later and saying, thank you so much for, all the prayers and stuff, this is what's happening. She had said that her doctor had put her on a medication because she does have really bad PCOS, and they were concerned that was polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's if I understand correctly, it's something to do.
So I follow a lot of TTC Instagrams.
Mine was Reddit pages. So I think it has something to do with. Because I'm trying to think. Okay, so I think endometriosis, I think, is the one where you just have really thick lining and it screws up your ability to hold on to anything. And I think PCOS is there's something wrong with the way that the eggs come down. They get stopped, they get messed up along the way. So whatever it was, she was having. They put her on medication so that way she would have a more regular sort of thing, and she could more easily figure it out and hopefully keep it longer.
Yeah.
But yes.
When was this? Sorry.
This was
her business, but I didn't.
Oh, this was. She messaged me 3.5 months ago. I haven't heard anything yet, but I also wouldn't, especially given her history, I wouldn't be surprised if she's one of those people that chooses to wait until the 12 weeks.
Yeah.
because that's the point at which like you're
Is that when you guys were in? How long was it until you
No,
were told at least once?
yeah, I told you, we told you all about that point. Yeah, or actually, I think it was a little bit before. I think we may have told you at like 11.
Because you told us on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And then around Mother's Day.
And Mother's Day is the beginning.
Okay, wash your hand and you're done, okay?
No, we already knew prior to that. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Because it was no, it was Mother's Day when we found out, and Father's Day
Huh?
was when we figured out what we were having. They look great.
If you need to go, obviously.
I've got a few of stuff. That's the point if you start hearing the heartbeat. But because of the availability of the doctor, I didn't get going until almost 10 weeks. Which was kind of nice because then I knew for a fact I'd be able to hear it. Because 8 weeks it's like, I feel like there's like a 75% chance, there's a 25% chance.
Almost started to fill in the bubbles.
Because we had to focus about butterflies. I was nervous all the time. Maybe like it's 3.5 months, maybe.
Because so Jeff's 100 was 16 weeks when it's all. And so everybody had to see. But like this is like the week when it should be like starting to happen. And the other people in my friend like this.
Yeah.
Okay. But you Yeah. Yeah.
I remember one. I remember one was one she was.
The pain, okay?
And I would feel her just going across the inside. I like said that I can still remember like the phantom movement. It's so bizarre sensation.
One of the people that used to work at Triton, the temp agency, him and his wife are now like Instagram, YouTube influencers. And so they're pregnant with their second one. So she talked about how she's 33 weeks. So I don't know, is that like another ultrasound? I guess for you it was different.
I was about to say, it might be, as I say, I would never intentionally want to have gestational diabetes, and I just like got and ultrasounds out of it.
So I think she had said possibly at their 33 week one that she was supposed to get it, but the baby was faced towards her back, so she didn't get like the 30 picture of like the face. And she was bummed. What time is it? her sushi date. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get to see everything. And then mom texted me, she's like, yes, we're going to sushi shop at 12:15. Are you going home for lunch? So I thought about possibly driving and just like sitting and keeping her company, but I also knew that they probably like would not like that. But they obviously they knew that she wouldn't be eating it. But I was like, okay. Monday is when I have Christmas Eve with we're doing Christmas Eve service.
Oh, are you going to at Jacob's? We're going to the closet. So,
And then lasagna or something back at your house.
okay, I love that. Then we go. So mom and yours, we're doing a lunch.
Okay.
So what you described as Christmas Eve. I will go over there at some point. Mom and I are going to prepare the lasagna in the pan. And I will bring it back to my house. And then they'll put it in and cook it to where it's like 10 minutes from being done. Then I'm going to turn off the oven and we're going to head to the surface. The remaining heat should cook it the last 10 minutes.
Thằng Việt nó cứ sai số 8
And then as soon as we finish with
Thằng Việt nó cứ sai số 8 nhỏ hẳn nó to.
come back to our house, we'll immediately take the lasagna out of the
Số 8 cái hiện.
Then we're gonna watch Red One. And then
Cứ nhỏ hẳn đe cái to để cho cái bọn mình cái tiếp hình nhỏ á.
Because I knew that at the time you and mom were talking about possibly splitting the ingredients because I also knew that or
Mẹ bọn vừa chúng sai.
yes. And then Mom already bought ingredients and she texted me what half of it would come.
did you
So
already
there was
send
like-
her half of it?
Well, I was gonna say, I think.
Because I mean I can.
Oh, that's here. You go first.
I was gonna say I can go 3 days in.
I was thinking you could do that, or the only thing I realized that we don't really have for Christmas Eve that we could do is if we wanted to like bake cookies together. So if you wanted to, instead of doing that, just get some cookies.
Chắc chừng.
Even if it's like the ones with
How can I help you?
the little pictures or whatever.
Có cái này spa cần
Follow
you.
and go, please.
We could do baking cookies or something around
Oh no, she's super busy. She have someone at 10:30, 11:30. Can you come anytime after 2? I told you that's the reason why.
That'll work.
No, because she have someone at 10:30, so not enough time for 15 minutes, you know. Yeah, I didn't come at 2.
because you know on Reddit you can have a couple different, you can like tag them. So one of the tags was like basically I'm looking at the text and I can't tell. Like, can you guys help me out? And I always felt so bad because a lot of time I'd be like, people are too crucial. They very clearly know. There's no way. Like if you screenshot the right shot, maybe. But that was. I'm not but yeah, so I remember being on that page. Unfortunately, that's not always help me because there'd be like a obligatory
Yeah. No. It does not for mine as well. Well, it actually takes. What? That's why I was like, do I just need to delete social media from my phone? Yeah. So it was like, I'm gonna delete these apps off and I'm gonna take your passwords and I'll save them on my phone. So like, what are you doing? Just go and like, just go and go and and scream for you.
As awful as it sounds, I'm glad that I can be somebody who can communicate with.
Ừ.
Especially because like, I was
Yeah.
like especially when I was going seeing the doctor to find out. I think that somebody that was gonna go wrong for like 5 years ago. So I reached out to her, had like the initial like conversation she had about it, and that was to we're gonna do like a couple of like examinations, testing, stuff like that. But like I need you to tell me when you're not. So I was like, okay, let's figure it out like 2 months. Okay, sounds good. And then like that time came, and then we and she called, she was like, hey, you know, I have you on my phone, I'm just reaching out to like her. I was like, no. And
Con kia nó ở nhà bên đỡ.
then
Con kia nó ở nhà đỡ ông cháy gì đó. Xả lắm á.
Mai một đi học đi làm cuối tuần thôi, cuối tuần này
brought all my fingers off my phone.
tam tháng nay cuối tuần.
And so yeah, then she called me and everything. And I was like, okay, come to the office here. Like we're gonna do a blood test to make sure that unfortunately it wasn't. Because yeah, I went in and did the blood test and like, what are the chances? Yeah.
Làm con
Để mà biết làm gì đâu mà kỳ vẫn kỳ.
ở cả tháng đến
Ừ. Có 3 con 2 bương.
Hẳn nhiều con xong nó sẽ hẳn ta la.
Ừ.
Nếu mà nó là con thì anh đừng đơn thế mà
Con nó lớn.
nó cũng biết băng băng lại băng đôi mà tôi biết mà nó con lại là phải mua vào mua đưa từ
Ừ.
từ không đưa mà biết là hết.
Đẹp gái giới thiệu rất nhiều.
Có một lần là cái cũng lâu em đâu gặp
Ừ.
thì em thấy cô nghĩ rằng thì các bạn
Giờ lúc lái kết hợp đẹp lắm.
nhưng mà con cô nghĩ thì cũng không phải
Ừ.
anh được cái được lái cả
Có Facebook à? Con gái nghề trắng lắm á, nên là nó mặt hơn. Mặt nó như bố thôi.
nhưng hai từ muốn được nào dễ đi nào
Tự nhiên con gái nghề Ấn thấy trắng nhưng cũng ảnh hưởng đến mà hiểu không? Còn cũng ảnh hưởng đến Ấn kết quả tươi đi.
thì con mẹ con mập bên đi bố trưởng này con hùng mập
Xin được không? Hai rồi, 2 giờ.
hai giờ
Ừ. Thì sao?
con phải hẹn ai chứ
Con mập, con thí bị đen. Đó làm chứ nhá. Đó làm chứ.
hello how can I help you okay pick out the color please thank you ai đi trước hè dạ rồi ai sau cũng có cái đôi nước sữa đen đẻ
Ui sao?
dạ
Con thấy đòi người ta là Often.
Just like I don't have a light.
Okay, có cho em chưa đây?
To wash my hand or?
Okay. Có đâu? Nhỏ nữa. Đừng có lên mọi chuyện rối lên. Hắn làm con nữa kia mà. You ready?
I just wanted to give you one. So, for you,
Thì còn là 45 trong. Có đến tùy nha. Má, nhìn hẳn tùy đó. Kẹp nữa đó.
Hả? Ăn đến. Right now. Keep going.
Nên chỉ nghe 30. Có cái con bên chỗ điệp.
Điệp á.
What shape are you getting?
Square.
Square, short, long, medium? Short. You good? Yeah.
Cái đủ cái lái nữa quá đấy.
Chọn lấy cố thiệt luôn. Nào ghế, má. Ghế bay vậy. Đỏ thì cũng thấy đường. Thank you. You want something to drink?
Nothing.
Con nào? Con 15 hả? Và con đi. Ok. I'll be with you in a minute, okay? Just give me 1 minute. Giờ nói em có cần hẹn 10 giờ 30 cancel nhé.
Của lớn á, 45 đâu.
Rồi. Ui, nếu không biết. Con nhỏ đang làm hả? Hay con đầu đang làm? Hả? Tự nhiên tưởng sẵn lên nữa. Cho chiếc xe có 100.000 mà. chỉnh, không kêu người làm chỉnh phải chỉnh định. Rồi, thank you.
You want me to go ahead and take the wallet and get you all paid up?
Ồ, hết tiền. How long? How long?
Short.
How short? Right here or shorter? Right here?
Yeah.
Chưa. Đang làm. lấy mấy cái chổi quẹt bằng bôi thiệt tóc thì là đúng không?
Thử chứ.
Chổi lòng nha.
Bán đó.
Cái biết không? Bà em xong ở yên được đấy. Đi ra ngoài thì mệt.
Đi bán kiểu
Tắt chuông hết rồi, tắt camera lên rồi, giờ cái ring đó béo nó chia tắt nữa. Nó tắt hết luôn, nó nguy hiểm quá.
tới giờ mình đi.
Thuốc xong nữa.
Ta sẽ bán chỉ.
Đó, đi chợ đó. Đi chợ một xíu.
Để bắt con nữa cho nhỏ.
Mà con như là tiền tao làm con kia nó không biết đâu quá.
Con chỉ 59 mà bà.
Hả?
Con chỉ 59 đó.
Để nó tao có làm gì cũng không được.
Thì Diệp đang nói đấy.
Thôi à.
Bắt con nữa, con nữa nào.
À cái con lợn chứ.
Con lớn đâu cho tiên đâu, vừa chưa anh nhớ đấy. Ừ. Mẹ mặt đẹp gái cho tiên.
Cánh con dừa là cặp con dừa đó ba. Rồi
Để cho bắt con nữa, còn tiên con đôi nữa.
tất cả là thượng đế sắp đặt hết rồi ba.
Đừng có lại là
Mình chỉ đi thực sự đó ba.
Anh vừa giao này.
phải là lên xuống cái đó hay.
Cái đó thượng đế đâu cho biết trước mình giàu mẹ nó rồi. Đợi cái ngày đó nó sẽ là gì? Hay gọi là tiếng đầu nó gọi là tiên cơ bất khả lậu đó ba.
Người ta làm trong cái đó. Người ta tạp lên tới.
Chứ theo như sách báo viết thì thứ hai thứ ba lên chơi ra luôn.
Hôm nay có sự bắt đông hơi sáng.
Cái gì?
Hơi sáng cũng thể em đi xuống để nói chứ xem đỏ đỏ.
Còn nói chưa tới.
Thích
thứ bảy ngủ sớm thì cãi nhau đó. Không, thứ bảy. Tum, tum, tum. You want square, square, square round?
Square, square.
Can you do it a little longer this time? Yeah. Maybe like a little more pointy too than normal.
Okay.
Okay, you. Nail? Pedicure too, or get nail? Nail only or pedicure too? Set off. Set off lên here.
Để tiến cái cáo tới.
Bên đây. Bên đây. Bên đây. Ồ, con này vậy thì có cái bấu không? Tao nói đi bằng 120 đó chứ, Hà Nội giá chứ.
Có, phải về làm phải tiếp phải thêm 3 triệu thôi.
Bỏ chặt, bữa nay tao không có nhấn nhường nữa.
Em thương bên nhiều.
Thương hả, nói thương mình. Mình đi bao nhiêu năm rồi, cũng đi tìm khác à. Bao nhiêu năm mình cũng cho 11 sao à. Thì chơi được thì chơi, đi tìm khác nhiều lúc lấy 150 thì lắm. Với lại 120 là tiền thưởng miễn thưởng rồi đó. Ngoài bữa đến lấy đi giỏi ghê lắm. Nhiều con sậu nữa. Bình dẫn mà được chơi được thôi.
Hello. Can I help you?
Okay, pick all up, please. Fine now. Okay. Peter. Rồi, 10 cái neo mà 10 cái này nó ăn nổi bấy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lượm đi. Mua gì? Có gì hâm mộ không? Có gì hâm mộ không? Mua gì? Đám cưới á. Đám cưới. Đó, Hilton có thể chỉnh thì Wiley có thể Việt. Còn làm tay được. Làm tay được. Phải đẩy nhấn. Một con nữa. Rất là vui vẻ vậy, Việt nói có mùi thế. Thiệt, nhiều lúc thầy đoán sao ấy. Nhưng mà khó viết. Đó, bảo thế, bộ phim xét 20 phút không edit không cất. 50 đồng. Ok, sếp ok.
Yes, thank you.
Đúng không? Nó có bên đây ra cái màu lạt, nó có bên đây ra màu đậm thế. Đúng. Đói bụng quá đi. Kìa.
And then, are you gonna be doing what kind of, dip? Or is it gel X? Acrylic. Yeah.
Acrylic is gonna be better for your nose.
Yeah, I know.
But I can, but it'll be good.
It took me, like, my engagement nails were in dip. I think it was, and it took me 3 months, like, they're still recovering from it. But I also really
No,
bad.
but did you? For acrylic, it will be better.
Just like,
Just let it chip off.
okay. And my nails still won't be as bad.
If you do it repeatedly, like
Like ripping it?
ripping it, but also repeatedly, like,
Ừ.
Yeah.
Ghê.
yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be stronger.
Đây là gọi là có duyên sẵn rồi đó. Có duyên đó. Giờ bữa đêm coi Facebook để ngày mai làm cái gì luôn á.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Ok, switch it.
Oh, they're in a food right now.
Ôi.
We're just sending inspiration.
I think my mom is group chat, she'll blow it up.
Oh,
Just one solid color for holiday.
I'm just doing it.
Em lộn có.
I'm a lot of where my like my
Yeah.
I'm mommy and daddy. Yeah, mommy. I'm thinking about it.
Hey, Mom.
Not daddy issues.
No.
I'm not definitely
Daddy issues. Big daddy issues.
yeah. I got both.
What's that?
That weird raised me as a
Okay, wash your head and you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She'll die.
Does she?
Ai em?
Does she?
Người em làm double không design.
Isn't it hard goes after because she's the oldest of it and then like it goes?
Yeah, but she probably doesn't do that. But this to an extent, you know. You can blame them.
Không thì phải lấy đủ tôi đã làm cái hai.
To an extent, you can only blame
Sửa một con kết nữa nha.